Just to give a little background about myself, I joined the portfolio that I acquired the portfolio way back in 2019, sorry. The journey for the last 5 years has been very incredible. We have almost tripled our EBITDA in the last 5 years and doubled our revenues. If you look at our FR index, which is 296 for FY25, this is 1.4x times the luxury industry and almost 3x of the hospitality industry. What RevPAR index actually signifies, it shows the willingness of a customer to pay 40% more to stay in Leela Hotels and experience our hospitality. If I just talk about the RevPAR numbers, we are 15,300 in absolute terms versus luxury industry of 11,000 and hospitality at large of 5,300. It's not only that RevPAR that we enjoy a 40% premium, even in TRevPAR, we have a 40% premium over the luxury industry. And TRevPAR is total revenue per available room, which includes non-room revenue, which is F&B, spa, laundry, and other minor departments. We have also a very strong focus on cost, which leads to our strong GOP margins of almost 54%, 8% over luxury industry, and 10% over overall industry. This has been the result of our strong approach to asset management, which has a three-pronged strategy. First, optimal revenue management. We have best of the revenue staff both at the corporate and at the hotel team. Plus, we have invested in best of the technology for revenue management tools. Secondly, in terms of cost management, we have invested in solar. We have the right manning at our hotels, which leads to a very efficient cost structure. Third, we have invested in our hotels and added value drivers because Ram just spoke. We have added Leela clubs in 3 hotels that will becomes operational this year. We are adding 14 keys in Udaipur. We are adding kids programming in Jaipur and Udaipur to make us a Kalman destination. So investing in all our assets that will contribute to additional revenues and EBITDA and also grow our EBITDA margins. In the last 12 months, we have been able to generate 14 crores of total revenue, which is a 15% increase over last year. For EBITDA, we have generated 700 crores, which is 17% increase over last year. The moat that we have created is our operating leverage, which is reflected in these numbers. The total revenue CAGR is 25% over 2-year period, while the EBITDA growth has been 29% over the last 2 years, which is also reflected in EBITDA margin of almost 50%, a 3% growth in 2 years' time. This is a great snapshot of our story so far. We started with 8 hotels, 2,500 keys. Right now we are operating with 13 hotels with 3,500 keys. And with our contracted pipeline, will be 20 hotels, 10 owned and 10 managed hotels. In terms of owned portfolio, we were 4 hotels, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, and Jaipur. And we added Leela Palace Jaipur with complete acquisition in FY23. And with the contracted pipeline, which we'll just take you through, will be 10 owned hotels with almost 1,700 keys. If you look at the ADR, we are at 22,500 and we have grown our ADR with a CAGR of 10%. The RevPAR is around 15,300, grown at a CAGR of 11%. Both these key performance indicators have grown by almost 2% more than the luxury industry CAGR growth. If I take just one step back, when we took over the portfolio, the brand was enjoying a 20% premium, which means the brand was well recognized. Brand was getting our ADR premium almost 20%. With the Brookfield leadership and asset management approach, we were able to double the RevPAR premium to 40%. With this, I'll hand over to Anurag, who will talk us about the actual pipeline that we have in the nation.
Just to summarize, I think something that Ravi should be and the team should be very focused and happy about is since the last 5 years, from 2019 to 2025, the company has tripled its EBITDA from 2019 to 2025. So that's been a great achievement with the highest net promoter scores as well. So on the top side, there is amazing amount of guest recognition and guest satisfaction, which is translated into the highest EBITDA margins. So Ravi spoke about the financial metrics and the performance of our business. I want to talk about something which is very close to us, something very exciting, and I'm sure all of you will be very keen to know where and when is the next Leela hotel coming up. So as you can see out here, we have identified certain sub-segments within the luxury ecosphere, whether it's heritage or grandeur or hills or wildlife or business hotels or spiritual. And we are catering to all of them. If I start with the city hotels, we are coming up with ultra luxury residences, which is next to 1.5 million square foot of commercial. It is a great location, 200 days, 63 keys, and this is a great segment to be in, and we believe there are legs to grow this segment even more. We're also looking at a 200 keys hotel again in Mumbai CBD in BKC. On hill stations, we have 2 hotels in different stages of development. We are coming up in Sikkim, very close to the Paramount Airport. Amazing location, over 17 acres of pristine views of the valley and the Himalayas, as well as in Srinagar, 13 acres on the Dal Lake, and again, iconic. This is a brownfield, and this is going to be an amazing asset as well. On the heritage and grandeur, this is something that resonates with the Leela brand very closely. We are building a Leela Palace in Agra, which is just 1 kilometer away from the Taj Mahal, and all the rooms will have a view, an unfettered view of the Taj Mahal. And we are also coming up in Ranthambore. Now this is very exciting. There's a 350-year-old fortress which is getting restored and repurposed to make a Leela hotel along with land adjoining it, which is on a perennial river called Parvati. On the spiritual, this is a segment which we believe is grossly underserved, even in some of the most highly popular and spiritual destinations. We're coming to the Leela in Ayodhya on the Saryu River. And on wildlife, which is a segment of personal interest to me as well. We are coming up on 40 acres. Bandhavgarh, as you probably know, is one of the reserves which has the highest density of tigers. And we are coming up with a 30-key wildlife retreat in Bandhavgarh. This is a total of 678 keys that we have in here. And as I mentioned earlier, 5 of these hotels will be owned by us, and Sikkim and the Leela Service Residences will be on management agreement. The other thing that I mentioned about, which is again very, very exciting to the organization, and this is something that India is really ready for, and we are coming up with the Earth Club, a members-only by-invitation club, which will ensure that we create a community of thought leaders, trailblazers, and business guests, and make the Leela lifers. This is coming across 3 of our locations, and there will be more which we can share with you. I spoke about the luxury residences and the branded residences. So as you can see, the Leela value proposition is fully powered and supported by Brookfield, which, not just having a 13 billion investment into India as AUM, also has a lot of experience globally with over 44,000 keys of hospitality assets globally and over 181 hotels. This photograph doesn't do much justice to me for sure, but this is who we are, and also supported by a very experienced and a diverse senior leadership team, which is all powered up to deliver the next level of performance, and supported by an extremely experienced, recognized, I'm sure you recognize most of the names, and board of the governance and support and guidance that we require from them. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been our story. We are very, very excited to be here today to launch our IPO. And I thank you once again for being here this evening. And thank you for listening intently, and looking forward to sharing some more time with you as the day goes by. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anurag. Before we move on to the Q&A, I'd like to play a film which captures the Leela journey so far and leave you with some glimpses of what we